Hi, my name's Jeremy Broun, and in this video I'm going to cover the 10 rules of woodworking, 10 rules of successful woodworking in my opinion. And I've been woodworking quite a long time. And I'm going to use a guitar that I've currently been making as the kind of example for demonstrating those rules. Now, of course, there are more than 10, there are less than 10, and in fact the most important rule is patience. So if you don't have the patience to watch this whole video through, then I'm afraid you haven't got what it takes to be a successful woodworker. So I'll try and make this as quick as possible, but please take time digesting it. So my first rule is to prepare the timber accurately, and by that I mean dressing the timber either by hand with a plane and marking gauge, or machining it with a planer thicknesser. And it basically gets all the surfaces flat, adjacent surfaces 90 degrees or square, all opposite surfaces parallel. So there are those three requirements for getting timber accurate, because you can't do anything in woodwork unless your timber is accurate. And of course you can buy, as I often do, ready prepared or machined timber from one of the DIY sheds. I mean, that is really wonderful because you don't pay an awful lot more for it. So that's the first one, is to prepare the timber or the material you're using accurately. And of course if you're using plywood, then it's already pre-prepared. The second rule is to use good quality materials, and I don't mean you have to use the most expensive rosewood or ebony. Pine, of course, is not an expensive material, but you shouldn't think that it's an inferior material. I use an awful lot of pine, and it's important to use the best grade and make sure that it is as knot free as possible, and that it's straight and it's not bowed or twisted. And the same goes for plywood. You know, check before you buy the sheet that it's not badly twisted. You'll get a certain amount of twist on a plywood sheet. And of course MDF and chipboard are perfectly flat. Right, number 3 is mark out precisely and check. In fact, check twice. But marking out is an absolutely essential prerequisite for the majority of work. I mean, if you're a wood turner, obviously you don't mark it out, you just turn it. But for the majority of woodworking work, you have to mark it out. I use a biro as my preferred marking instrument. It gives a consistent, fine and clear point. With a pencil, because it's graphite, it blunts as it draws. So when you've gone all the way around a piece of wood, it's thicker when it joins up with the original line. And when you're marking out, you always cut on the waist side of the line, and you leave the entire line on. Now this is very important when joint cutting, because that thickness of the line is the difference between a loose and a tight joint. Because when cutting joints, you always make the joints slightly oversized, because wood then compresses and hence you get the tight joint. And you always shade waist, so that is number 5. Rule number 5, always shade waist. Now I like to use diagonals, but some people use just a cross. If you don't shade waist, there's a risk that you will cut on the wrong side of the line. It will happen. Number 6, use the right tool for the job. Now I'm very fortunate. When I started woodworking over 50 years ago, I had very few tools. Now I have not just vast array of tools, but I have several of the same one. That's mainly because I lose them or I mislay them. But I can't stress enough having the right tool. There's nothing worse than struggling with the wrong tool. Now when I say the right tool, I don't mean necessarily the traditional tool, because that actually can be the worst tool. What I mean is the most appropriate tool to do the job efficiently. Now think about that, because if you follow my YouTube videos, you'll see I actually have quite a lot of unconventional methods that get the job done quicker. And a very good example is the router. The router can quickly and more precisely do the job of several other tools. So that's very important. Select the right tool, and because you can waste a lot of time if you're not using the right tool. And whilst talking about tools, number 7, obviously use sharp tools. So I'm going to use the word use razor sharp tools, especially a tool like a bandsaw. If the blade is any less than razor sharp, especially on a small bandsaw, the blade will wander. So if you're using, say, a hand plane, you'd be surprised to know that you should really resharpen it every 20 minutes or so. Some woods are very, very hard and the blade can dull. It's as simple as that. But it's such a joy to use really sharp tools. I use quite inexpensive tenon saws, and yes, they are throwaway, but they last a long time. They're hardened tipped saws and they're very, very efficient. And in fact, the tenon saw, if you get the wrong one, it can be a nightmare to use. So cheap is often best, but not always best. Rule number 8, hold the workpiece firm. Whoever says that, we take it for granted. But if you don't, if your workmate or your bench is slightly rocking, or the work isn't clamped properly onto the bench, then your saw or whatever will jam. So holding the workpiece absolutely firm is really important. And another little rule I'll throw in fact 2 rules I'll throw in for nothing, is always try and saw vertically and plane horizontally. Rule number 9, and as I said, there's no strict order to this, so please don't add a comment about this, oh, you should have said that first. Rule number 9 here is be safe. And by that I mean, obviously, with sharp edge tools, always make sure your hands are behind the cutting edge. Don't be too hasty, because the saw can slip, it can slide over the wood and cut into your fingers. And by safety I mean health and safety. Use a mask, extract the chippings and the dust out of the air with an extractor. Use eyeglasses. The occurrence of eye injury in woodworking is, I think, the highest injury. Even a tiny splinter in your eye or a tiny bit of debris can cause no end of havoc. So be safe. Always check the power tools have got sturdy cables, the electrics are sound. And number 10, the final one, is get it right first time. If you don't get it right first time, you'll be messing around trying to make good. Now, of course, if you're a beginner, you ain't going to get it right first time. You're going to make mistakes. So I could add the rule, be easy on yourself and make mistakes. That's how we all learn. But if we're talking about what are the essential ingredients for successful woodworking, one is, and a very important one, is get it right first time. In other words, decide you're going to use a saw on the waste side of the line, leave the line on and go for it. Don't saw off the line and then chisel back to the line. This is particularly so of cutting dovetails. They should be straight off the saw. Well, this is a little bit off the cuff and I hope it's been helpful to you. And I don't often say this in my videos, but everybody else says it, which is please subscribe. You know, your subscriptions help me continue to make videos for you. Thank you for watching.